Welcome to dance lesson number 3. This week we are working on shape as our dance element, and we're also going to be looking at verbs, that's action words in our poem, so that we can help tell the story. Let's see if we can find some verbs in our story. Let's have a look at our poem, and let's see if we can find some action words in our poem. In the first line, I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, or maybe we can use those in and out. And what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He's very, very like me from the heels up to my head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. Did you find another action word? I found the word jump. So maybe we can use that in our dance. Let's have a look at the second verse. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow. Here's another action word, grow. Not at all like proper children, which is always very slow. Wow, we can use this one. We can use this one in our dance, very slow. For he sometimes shoots up taller like an Indian rubber ball, and he sometimes gets so little that there's none of him at all. Maybe we could use the idea of shoots up taller, or gets so little. Let's have a look at verse 3. He hasn't got a notion of how children ought to play, and he can only make a fool of me in every sort of way. He stays so close beside me. He's a coward, you can see. Think shame to stick to Nursey, as that shadow sticks to me. I think maybe an idea in this one is close beside me. Sticks to me might be another idea that you can use. What about the next verse? One morning very early, before the sun was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup. I rose. Maybe you could use that idea in your story. But my lazy little shadow, like an arrogant sleepy head, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. What about the word behind me, and use that in your dance? And here's another verb or action word, fast asleep. Let's see if we can practice some of those verbs or ideas from the poem. Let's try our in and out. Now remember, the idea is that you're doing shadow dancing with a partner. So if you have a brother or sister, mum or dad you can work with, that would be great. What about the word jump? Can you jump on the spot, left or right? What about slow, growing slowly? Nice and controlled. About getting your shadow really tall. Stretch up as far as you can go. And bring your shadow in really small. Curl up as tight as you can go. What about the word close? So your shadow is really close to you. If you've got a partner to work with, get really close to your shadow or really close to the shadow on the wall. I think you can see my shadow behind me. shadow falls asleep. Practice some of those ideas this week. Let's see if we can do it to the music. Are you ready to do your shadow dancing to the music, using all of the verbs we found in the poem? Here we go. How did you go with those ideas? So this week, see if you can tell a story through your dancing. Look at the words we've looked at in the poem and make up your own shadow dance story. Happy dancing, and we'll see you next week.